You need something that you can use to record your audio onto and then deal with basic editing. There are a lot of programs. You can buy them. They have various prices.
You're not allowed that.
But for just starting out, there's actually a program that's free. It's a standard download for both Windows and Mac. It's called Audacity. You go to their website, audacity.com, you download it, and once you've got that equipment, you can start recording. That simple. Basic audio editing now is just that. Basic audio editing. You are not required to produce. You are not required to do anything super fancy with the final material. No music, no sound effects, no nothing. Matter of fact, what we were just talking about is that most producers, most clients want your audio flat, clean, completely simplistic, real. You and your room. That's it. That being said, there's a standard that we're upholding to. It's broadcast quality, which simply means that the audio is clean enough and free of imperfections so that it could be aired on radio or television right now as is. And that's fairly easy to achieve nowadays. It's not all that complex. It simply means no buzzes, no hums, no, gook on your recording. And most of your equipment helps you to make that possible. Now, there is one other thing that assists in that process, which is the soundproofing, the booth. All right. I'm not going to get too far into this because honestly, we could spend 2 hours just talking about booth construction. Here's the reality. Most voice talent have a designated space in their home in which they record. Their equipment stays outside of that room, immediately outside of it. So you have a space in which you enter to record. Best possible space to make a booth? A closet. Yeah. Take any old coat closet that you're not using, move some crap around, because it's sort of the recording equivalent of building a doghouse. The rules for doghouses are simple. Enough room for puppy to get in, turn around, and lay down. You need enough room for you to get in, turn around 360, and walk back out. That's it. That's how tight they can be. They don't need to be big monster spaces.
Well, it can be technically it could be a closet that's in use, right? Clothes would help to dampen sound.
Absolutely. That's the other thing about it, is that sound dampening material, a couple things to this. First off, there's no such thing as soundproof. Does everybody understand that? The only way you get soundproof is if you're NASA. You have to be able to airlock things, There's no such thing as soundproof. What you have is sound dampening, sound deadening, sound enhancing, shall we say. The material that is primarily made up or used in recording studios to reduce the distance with which sound can travel, because that's what you're talking about doing, you're stopping it, okay, is fabric. It's things that are porous yet dense. So, foam, mattresses, blankets, pillows, quilts, coats, clothing, all of this stuff can be used to makeshift soundproofing. I know quite a few talent who go to Goodwill and go buy every single blanket that's on sale, take them to the dry cleaner, take them to the laundromat, wash them thoroughly, and staple gun them to the wall because it works. It's the same thing. Yeah, you may need more of it if you're using a cheaper material, but there are a lot of do-it-yourself ways to achieve the same thing. Keep in mind, the smaller the space you are trying to proof, the less material you have to buy, the less room the sound has to travel. For instance, if I was going to attempt to build a booth in this room, it's right there. It's right behind Sarah. Nope, it's that curtain. It's that little alcove, that little space right there. Because it's teeny and it would be really easy to seal off. I don't know what's behind there. I didn't even know if that was hollow or not. But yeah, that too. Either one of those would work great. Now, If that's the case, actually that might be even better. Make that the booth, that becomes the workstation. That becomes the actual recording studio right outside. The reason you want them close, less wires to run.
Yep.
Simple mathematics. You don't want to put 60 feet of wiring through your walls if you can avoid it. Little thing like that. A little tiny hole in the sheetrock and shove things through. Doesn't have far to go. No big deal. There are, again, a lot of other alternates for soundproofing. You've got to get creative. If you don't have a closet, there's a couple of other things that you can do. You can create a partitioned area. Heavy drapery, heavy fabrics, heavy curtains. Something that I've seen folks do before in apartments, which is kind of genius. This was really common in New York City for a while. Does everyone know what a changing wall is? The wardrobes, with the panels, and women would go behind them. The striptease icon thing. You take one of those, or you build one. We're talking about taking plywood panels and kind of hinging them together exactly, and you proof one side of it, and you use it as a movable wall that can be folded and collapsed and pushed to one side and then pushed back out. You want to get fancy, put caster wheels on it. That's what allows you to move it in and out where you need it to be. The thing that I always tell people, don't forget your floors and don't forget overhead.
Ceiling,
Yeah. Ceiling is big. When I did closet-style booths back in the day, I did exactly what he was saying before. I left all my junk in the closet. All that stuff overhead in that shelf was natural proofing because it sucked up the area. I'm not too tall, so I was able to leave my closet's original shelf and just kind of duck right underneath it. I'm serious, the clothes rack was still there. I never moved the bar, I didn't need to. You may have to raise the shelf up if you're tall. No big deal, you still leave stuff overhead. As far as the floor goes, put down a rug. It's that simple. Just what you want to have happen. You want to be able to clap your hands and have it die. That just echoed. You want a sound more like this. You want a thud. You don't want it to go anywhere. What I was saying before about mobile recording and hotel rooms and people who take it on the road, this is really funny. I just don't recommend it long term because it's annoying and uncomfortable. In hotel rooms, talent will actually take their microphone, set it up on the desk in the hotel, grab the comforter off the bed, and count. Not even kidding. We're literally playing, we're playing sport.
Love it.
When we were 6. If you really need to go crazy because you're having trouble with noise in the room, first you take the pillows and you make a retaining wall. And I've seen people do this. I've seen talent actually call down to the desk and go, I need 6 more pillows. For what? I need 6 more pillows.
Just do it.
Yeah, just bring the pillows. And they will. They'll fort themselves up and make like a little tent and record right in their room. And it works brilliantly. And if the sound is still a little off, that's where you have and most of the time, by the way, guys, when we're talking about mobile, most people are only doing mobile setup to not miss an audition. It's a job that they want to go out for, and they don't want the fact that they're at Disneyland to screw that up. So that's where you get to, send a little note that says, by the way, I'm on vacation, so if this sounds a little crummy, that's why I'll be back home, by this date.